Here in the studio, we have Mazi Dickson, Iroegbu, a National Executive Committee member of the People's Democratic Party. He will help us dissect the issues, the stakes, and the future of the People's Democratic Party. But first, Mazi, welcome to
Thank you.
the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, it is a very interesting time to talk about the People's Democratic Party. But then let's even get you talk. What is the position of the party right now, even in terms of its own leadership?
Once again, thank you. And first, let me begin with a little correction.
All right.
I'm not a member of the National Executive Council. I am a member of the People's Democratic Party.
All right.
Yes,
Noted.
so I'm not a member of NEC. Leadership, that's what you asked, right? First, PDP is, yes, plagued with challenges, but that is politics. I'm an Igbo man. For instance, we call politics Ndorondoro Chichi, which is pull your side, I pull my side. So it is politics that is playing out in the PDP. And of course, being a party that led the country for 16 years and left the way it left. And of course, various interests and all of that. And because our former presidents, former President Olusegun Obasanjo and former President Goodluck Jonathan, their absence in the party gave room for some of these rancors that we had and all of that. Because in politics, there must be some level of a rallying point where leaders can say, okay, this could be better approached this way and all of that. But unfortunately, the only leader we seem to have had since we left in 2015, when he became the candidate of the party in 2019, that is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. After losing the election in 2019, we observed that even when we were in court, he never showed up for one day. And then, of course, we moved on, and up to 2023, he became the candidate and lost. Of course, also, even when the party had the crisis after his emergence in 2022, he didn't show leadership. That is Atiku Abubakar now. He didn't show leadership because if Atiku haven't emerged as the candidate of the party, he is from the north, and then the chairman from the north, and the DG of the party, of the campaign at that time, from the north. And the G5 governors, as I heard you mention earlier, now demanded what is the need for the South? Because they will go back to their people to say, vote for PDP. But what would be the reason when they couldn't even get anything? And then they demanded for, okay, you didn't give us this and that. Let the chairman come to South. And that one would have expected, if I was Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, I would have persuaded the chairman, prevailed on him to at least consider that and at least negotiate it, because it's give and take. But that didn't happen. And of course, we went into that contest. Also, because the party derailed in not upholding the constitution of the party, which recognized zoning. So a lot of us, myself, for instance, I was one of those who was aggrieved from the Southeast, because after the party lost in 2015, the most loyal zone to the party was the Southeast until 2023. And we expected that to build a political party, there must be ways of rewarding loyalty. And the party didn't do that and jettisoned the zoning formula enshrined in our constitution because of the same Atiku Abubakar and all of that. And we went into that contest divided. Some of us, of course, worked against the party deliberately and intentionally. In fact, stayed away from anything that had to do with the party. And the party lost the way it did. Well, we're here now, and the party is looking for a way to re-engineer itself and reposition itself to winning ways. Because as at today, APC has bungled everything that the PDP left. 16 years, we gave this nation a direction. Hunger was not an issue. Food was not an issue for the Nigerian people. The level of insecurity as we are faced with today, where kidnapping and all of that has now become a form of business and all that, and government is doing nothing. So 10 years of APC, we have seen the party that we handed over to in 2015 ruin everything that we gave it. including the economy. Remember, in 2015, the PDP handed over to APC a 550 billion US dollar economy. Nigeria was the fastest growing economy, biggest economy in Africa at that time. But what do we have today? We are all in a situation that is very, very appalling, to say the least. So indeed, yes, we're faced with challenges, but the party is putting its house together. I heard you mention the aspect of the conflict that we had during the absence of the then chairman, Ayu, and then, of course, Ambassador Damagun took over as acting chairman and all of that. And then the people from Ayu's zone, that is particularly Benue, started their trouble, demanding that it was their seat and that it was their turn to finish that particular mandate of the chairmanship of the party. And the party does not have micro-zoning in the constitution. It is north and south. And it's clearly stated there that in the absence of the chairman, either by death or by resignation or whatever it may be that created that vacuum, the vice chairman from his zone, and the zone here in question here is either, if the chairman were to be from the south, the deputy from the south would take over in acting position, or from the north, as the case is now. And that became what it is. And Damagu, took over that space and is today the acting chairman. Then we had crisis with the office of the national secretary and all of that, which was completely unnecessary, because the constitution provided for that any of the NWC members who desires an elective office in any capacity and all of that may choose to resign. It didn't state shall resign or must resign. May choose to resign is what is in our constitution. But some people felt that they wanted to flex muscles. The governors at that time, 12 of them, didn't show leadership. Before, of course, we now have 2 of them who have left. But the party is getting back on track.
Mazi, let's even talk about this popular conversation right now that Wike is holding the party to ransom. No. That PDP right now is answerable to Wike. Wike has even held the party to his jugular. No. How will you respond to
First, this will be another opportunity for me to debunk that, because the media has allowed it to fester, to thrive. It's not true. Wike is just one man. And I'm not his fan. Let me state it here so it doesn't look like I'm coming here to defend him. I'm not a Wike fan. And it's very clear. However, some of the challenges that we faced, for instance, the 17 governors from southern Nigeria had an Asaba Accord where they agreed that power must come back to southern Nigeria after Muhammadu Buhari's tenure elapsed in 2023. And that agreement, I support it. Because it was wrong for anybody to imagine it, that after 8 years of a northerner, especially the type that we faced under Buhari, that level of abysmal failure that we faced, that another northerner would take over. It was very insensitive. That's why I stated earlier that the party jettisoned its already agreed position in the constitution, which allowed for zoning. So the party failed in doing that, and the likes of Wike, and you can't take it away from Wike. After the party lost in 2015, Wike became the only voice, and possibly the only one who was supporting the party at the national and at the state levels and all of that. All of the other governors were more like lame dogs. So he fought very hard for that. And of course, like I said, in 2022, after the primaries, the party failed in reconciling itself. He was the leader of the G5 governors. And the demand was very clear that for us to go back to southern Nigeria and tell our people there is a need to vote PDP back to power, we must have something to also present to our people. And the party failed in doing that. That became the grouse of the G5 governors as led by Wike. But presently, will you say Wike is a problem? Is it because he's a minister under APC? No, it's not a problem. And the demand he keeps upholding is that the party must come south. And that's where we're going now. That we haven't made the mistake of 2023. Okay, we want to correct it. We're moving in the direction that we should have gone ab initio. So the party after, of course, if you were at NEC meeting, the NEC proposed, after setting up the zoning committee, that the party must, consider going south. And I believe that is where we're going now. So Wike is not our problem. The problem that we had in the party was one man's ambition, which is Atiku Abubakar, and he has left. And since he left the party is re-engineering itself and repositioning for, we're going to have our convention in November and all of that. The Wike angle is over, as far as I'm concerned, that position is neither here nor there. But the demand that it should come south, I am in support of it, and he is not our problem. About him working under the APC government and saying, that he's going to support Tinubu for 2027. Well, we don't have a candidate yet. We don't have a candidate. It's unfortunate that APC government as led by Tinubu 2 years into government, rather than face governance, they are already campaigning for 2027 because they failed. Because they are already campaigning for 2027, it appears as though that the likes of Wike clearly have said, if our party, PDP, by the time we finish our convention, and of course, we now have, by next year, work towards getting a candidate and all of that for the party. If the likes of him now get up to say that they are going to endorse or support Tinubu for 2027, especially when the Tinubu's government has put the country in a deep, deep mess, then we would do the right thing. But at the moment, we don't have a candidate, and him working as a minister under the APC is not anti-party, because even under our watch, as under President Olusegun Obasanjo, we had people from other political parties who were in his government. Even under Jonathan, the likes of the chairman of PDP Governors Forum today, before he was appointed FCT minister, that is Governor Bala Mohammed, was a member of the AMPP and all of that.
Mazi, let me even get you react to this popular opinion right now being held by Nigerians that the People's Democratic Party doesn't know how to play opposition. That's why the ruling All Progressive Congress has been getting along with all its decision, and that's why Nigeria is where it is right now. How correct is this whole narrative that People's Democratic Party is shy from playing opposition?
Nobody is created to be in the lamentation end. PDP, I may just admit here that we were not set up for opposition. I agree. The PDP was set up to govern Nigeria and govern it aright. Put the nation into...
So PDP has failed Nigeria as an opposition party?
No, it hasn't failed. PDP has...
Because if the PDP is supposed to be a very strong opposition party
from that sense.
It wasn't built to be an opposition party, but right now you're on the opposition side. And you're not built for it. And you're not speaking up for Nigerians. When you're not speaking up for Nigerians, and Nigerians are saying... You are just one. You are one.
Chaos in a country that we built.
During when the All Progressive Congress were on the other side of the divide, you saw what played out before 2015.
Play that kind of chaotic politics.
So APC, at this point, should we say that the People's Democratic Party has failed Nigerians by not standing up and living up to its responsibility as an opposition party?
If our not playing chaotic politics is what you call failure, then it's okay to call us whatever you want to call us. We will not be chaotic about governance of Nigeria. We want to see a great nation, and that's what the party is set up for. That is why our name, People's Democratic Party, is about the people. That is why our motto, power to the people. That is what we stand for. We want to build a great nation, an egalitarian nation. That's what PDP is set up to build. And we did it for 16 years. The difference is clear. When you consider what APC has done for 10 years and what PDP did in 16 years, the difference is very clear that, yes, this party ought to be in government and not in the opposition end. And indeed, well, like I said, we're putting our house together to get back to winning ways and help salvage our nation from the ruins that APC has brought upon us.